So search is the new yellow pages, as was alluded to earlier. 76% of people have used an online search to find information about a local business. 90% of those searches were processed by Google. Google's click-through rate on their top 10 results is 52% and 19% for that #1 spot. A higher ranking in the first few results is critical for visibility. Being listed at the top of the results not only provides a great amount of traffic, but instills trust in the consumer. SEO is undoubtedly one of the best and most important ways to reach consumers, build a business, no matter what size. So imagine the World Wide Web, as a network of stops on a big city transit system. The job of the search engine is to go through all of these routes and stop at every stop, whether it's a website, JPEG, PDF, and log where that stop is along the road and keep it. The way it does that is the best path made available by us to it, which is linking. The next thing that happens with the search engine is it becomes an answering machine. The person who looks for something online, the search engine scours its billions of stops and it pulls everything together, and then it does two things. First, it's sorted by relevance, or what it deems as relevant. And second, it ranks them for usefulness. It is both relevance and importance that's the process as SEO that influences. So importance is like popularity to a search engine. It's not done manually though. It is done through a complex logarithm that's been developed by the search engines. So it's kind of like when they pull the husk from the corn, throw the husk away, and then taste the corn and judge it, or however farmers do that. That's what the search engine is doing. Now the idea of a big mathematical formula might seem really daunting and confusing, but search engines do provide you with guidelines, such as make pages for your users, not for search engines. Make sure content's not buried in stuff like rich media, Flash, different components like that. And if you want text to be crawled and indexed by a search engine, do not embed it in an image. One of the most important elements to SEO is empathy with your audience. So if someone goes on your site and they have a really unpleasant experience and they can't get what they want, the search engine's probably having the same experience crawling your site. They go side by side. It's something to keep in mind. If people are telling you the site's bad and you can't find yourself in Google, that tells you need to see a professional or get a second job and start studying SEO. All right, let's skip that. So it's kind of like if you upload this picture of a red hat to the internet, and you would describe that hat as, or I would describe this hat as a red floppy hat for the beach. This is what the search engine sees. It has a hard time differentiating that that's an image of a red floppy hat for the beach. So you can provide clues though within your site structure as to what that picture is. You can tag it and you make use of many tools to tell and make it easy for the search engine to know that there's in fact a red floppy hat there. So the old adage of if a tree falls in the forest applies perfectly to SEO and website content development. In that, you can build a perfect website, you can meet all the technical guidelines, and if you don't tell people you're there, you're not going to be there. So the other speakers today are all speaking to me about part of SEO. Social media, mobile, all of that. You need it all, you need to tell people, you need to push them into the center of the scope. But SEO is a constantly changing landscape, and it's something to keep in mind as you go through and you think, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to learn everything there is about SEO. In 2010, Google changed the rules 516 times. Do you want to spend that much time researching? Maybe you do. So currently, social media marketing and vertical search inclusion are the mainstream methods to get your site to the top of the search engines. But the future is uncertain, and with search, it's going to be changing constantly. Search engines constantly strive to improve their performance by providing the best possible results. Generally, these sites have traits in common: easy to use navigation, direct, actionable information, professionally designed and accessible, and high quality and credible content. There are a limited number of variables that search engines can take into account directly, things that you can work on directly. Keywords, links, and site structure. In order to know the keywords to target, it's essential not only to understand the demand for a given term, but how to get there with that given term and the work it's going to take. It's not always about getting visitors to your site. It's about getting the right visitor to your site. With keyword research, you can predict shifts in demand, respond to changing markets conditions, produce content that people are already asking for. The history of marketing, there has never been such a low barrier to entry into the understanding of your end user in almost every niche. Content's the key. Developing great content is repeated thousands of times at any SEO book, resource, blog you're going to see. Content is key. Appealing, useful content is critical to SEO. Every search performed comes with an intent. They want a transaction, they want to navigate, or they want information. Content that addresses the searcher's need provides an excellent chance to earn top rankings. For search engines that crawl the web, links are the streets. Using link analysis, the engines can discover how pages are related to each other and in what way are they related. Growing the link profile of your website is critical to gaining traffic from the engines, and link building is among the top tasks to complete. And I'm not saying pay someone to build 1 million links all over the place. They have to be very selectively done with the right resources. So some great link building strategies would be get your customers to link to you. Build a company blog, but make it informative and fun and interesting. Make it so that people are inspired by it, that it goes viral, that they want to share it. And look for those other directories and sites, your providers for your equipment or services, link to them and have them link back to you. Some of the most useful tools are provided by the search engines themselves. Search engines want you to build a good site. They want webmasters to build that perfect site. So they provide a ton of tools. These free resources can provide data points and opportunities for exchanging information with search engines that has never been available before. So they say, if you can measure it, then you can improve it. The SEO measurement is critical to your success. There are a ton of free tools out there. Google Analytics, Yahoo, there's paid tools that will go into even more detail for you and give you the information you need. So, in 2013 and beyond, what should you know about SEO? Content is king. Social sharing influence will continue to grow. And although Facebook and Twitter are limiting what search engines can see, Google Plus is not blocking to the leading search engine, Google, that information. Do you have a presence on Google Plus? Your best spend for search engine optimization, in my opinion, this year, is to understand your audience and keep your content fresh. Thank you.